Hello, welcome back to another episode. Steve actually does something. Sitting out here in the garden today. I come out here yesterday and I wanted to put my trellis up for the daggone beans over yonder. I got these two poles and I'll show you what I'm talking about. These just daggone what do you call them things? Spindles that goes on like on railings for porches and stuff. I was going to drive one in right here and drive the other one in down yonder and just string it up like we used to do beans, let them grow up. But I got to thinking, you know, one of these 8-foot panels would work just as well, and I already have the fence post for one. So I figure why not just use these, go get a panel. Problem is, nobody within 100 miles of me sells these panels anymore. I went down to Tractor Supply. That's where I got the original ones a couple years ago. They said, no, we don't sell them no more. Or nobody carries them. How's that? So I come home and checked. And sure enough, I can't find one within 100 miles of me. So I ended up having to go get a 16-footer. I didn't want to because I only need 8-foot section. But, and I sure didn't want to cut that in half. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these two panels here off, put the 16-footer down here, and then use one of these 8-foot panels for my trellis thing, and then I'll have an extra piece. I like to have an extra board or fence post or pole or fence section or whatever on hand, because I never know when I'm going to need it. I figured y'all might get a kick out of watching me try to take it down out of my truck. We got lots of blooms on the cucumbers. Even got a small cucumber. Can you see that? The squash are doing pretty good. I got me some fungicide from the store the other day. It's pretty much taking care of the fungus I had on there. It's called powdery mildew, what they call it. Some squash back up in yonder for y'all. Got a pretty good with size one down here too. Yeah, so they're doing pretty good. Got some blooms on the tomatoes. Got some in through here too. But no actual tomatoes yet. So I'll take y'all up here. There's a dozen different ways to carry a 16-foot section in the back of a truck. I was going to lay it flat because I got an 8-foot bed. So I was just going to lay it flat and then walk the other piece over on top of it and strap it down. But the guy at Tractor Supply said he always loads them like this. And it's just a U shape in your bed. Ain't that big a deal. So that's all it is. You just grab these two ends and it's on the ground. You can pick up that bin and just shove it up in there. But we'll see if I can take it out. Shouldn't be that big a deal. But it could be interesting. You might need to call the ambulance for me. That's what I always tell the wife when I attempt something. I set you up here, top of my son's car here. I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see anything. So, yeah. You might be able to see me fall on my face. You'll have a good time. Probably a better time than I will. I'll drop you down just a touch. And then I'll get on replacing them two panels. Pretty much all there was to it. And then it don't put a crimp in it. It just pretty much curls it like that. It's under constant tension. All I did was strap it down to my daggone little tie downs up front there. But I was gonna lay it in here and walk it back and tie the top down. So it'd be bowed like this here instead of this right here. Well, that's just a couple ways. But there's dozens of ways to do it. You can look on here and find them. So let's go out here and get started on my repair work. All right, I went inside and got me a little drink. My daughter's here the weekend. The kids come over on the weekend, and I always visit with them for a little while. She's getting ready to leave now. So I come back outside to finish, but it's starting to rain on me. I got a real light mist, but it ain't gonna take long. This is why I got all kinds of, I keep buckets all the time. I always got to use them, carry my tools in them, and I got to cut them clips off of there. And when I do, them panels will come off. And I just throw them clips down that bucket, and when I get finished, I just dump the bucket in the thing. Well, I pull them clips off of there, and I'll place this one up on there, and that'll be it. This is a little clip I got. They give them to you at the store. They're only, I don't know how much they are, but they give me a whole case of them for nothing. About 1,000 pieces. You just wrap this back end around the pole, and you hook it on the top like this here, hook it around that pole, and wrap this in around. That's all it is. So what I was doing then, it was just, I was unrolling it from around the post there. Now I forgot I had put some on the corner over there to tie the end to the front piece, and the same on the back side. I'd wrap one of these clips around that just to tie them all together. I don't reckon you really have to do it, but we'll put a couple of these on there, show you how it works. What you do is you just take it like this here. You just hook it around your fence there, clip it on the back, and then you just take a pair of pliers and twist it on. And it secures your fence. And it'll never go nowhere. I usually crimp them closed here and wrap that good, but other than that, that's simple. You don't have to do nothing but that. It ain't going nowhere. All right, that's my little helper chair. It'll be explained in a moment. But I'm going to drive a post right down here where this thing's here at. Just like that. And run the fence up about here and run at the bottom of it. And run it right on across. Do the same on the other end for my post. Well, there it is. It ain't much, but it's going to do the job. If not, I'll just tear it down and move it next year. I got about a foot between the two fences, so hopefully the deer won't reach over and eat. And it saves me string too, because I use the same string for tying up my tomatoes, like this here. And they need to be tied up again. And you can see how tall they're getting now, 5-6 foot. They've grown another foot or so since I've done it. So we'll just start feeding it through there. Once it gets started, it'll take it on itself. Ain't much, man. That's one project out of 999,000 to go. But I appreciate y'all hanging out down on the corner. And y'all take care, man. And we'll talk with y'all later.